What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 320. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, yo, yo.
Adam Vale.
It's almost the weekend.
Brett Murdoch.
What's up?
And Brian Manjoma.
What a week. What a week.
Yeah, it's been crazy. All right, first of all, so apologies to the Twitch people. My camera doesn't want to fucking work. Or I rather Discord doesn't want to acknowledge my camera because everything's working fine. So you won't get to see my pretty face, unfortunately, but I'll try again later. We're going to start the show off with a little bit of bad news. Brett literally just told me about this a minute ago. So, Brett, who have we lost in the world of gaming?
Robert Altman. He was the co-founder and CEO of ZeniMax, which is the parent company of Bethesda.
Oh, man.
He's been in the industry forever. I don't think they've announced why he's died. And honestly, out of respect to the family, I'm not going to go digging and try and find. If they haven't put it forth, it's not for me to put forth. But yeah, unfortunately, they announced today that he passed away. So
that's interesting. I wonder if
yeah.
I wonder if it that might have been part of the reason why he might have sold the company off.
Yeah, I was thinking that too when I saw that. I'm like, oh, he probably knew something was going on.
Yeah, maybe there was some.
I can see that getting out of the captain's chair and leaving his family with a shitload of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Set their kids and their kids.
Yeah, but we don't want to speculate on the.
No, we don't want to speculate on that. But yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but yeah, salute to him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Manny, what's going on with Cam Clark?
Yes. So, this has actually been a long time in the making. For those of you who don't know, Cam Clark is the voice of Liquid Snake in Metal Gear Solid. And years ago, in 2016, we actually gave away a signed print to Cam Clark Cam Clark to a lucky listener. I had been sort of trying to work with Cam Clark and a bunch of other actors who've done Metal Gear work over the years, but that kind of went silent. But actually, this recently, what happened was. Actually, a few days ago, I got contacted by Cam Clark's publicist who said, yes, we want to use your artwork for a signing that we're going to be having on the 6th and the over the weekend, the 6th and the 7th. We're having like a big Metal Gear online signing. So yeah, if you go over to I got to look up the link because I wasn't prepared for that one.
Oh, I caught you off guard.
Yes, you caught me a little off guard, but that's okay. But yes, so there's going to be a big thing this weekend. You go to streamly.com/Cam Clark, and what you can do is you can actually get this piece, which I'm going to show you right now, of Liquid Snake, which is Liquid Snake wants you for the Genome Army, and it's going to be exclusively on there. And when you buy one of those, you're going to you're going to be getting a signature from Cam Clark, the voice of Liquid Snake. So, which is really cool.
Awesome stuff. I remember you posted a picture of you holding that from 2016, and
yes,
maybe I'm going to leave this to the fans, right? And I probably shouldn't be admitting this because it's kind of embarrassing, but I'm going to do it anyway. Can somebody please identify who that dude is, near the TD logo? I'm like, who is that? We obviously had a guest on the show, and I'm looking at my man's face. He's chilling. I don't know who that guy is. So
yeah, I'm not sure.
And nobody on the show. Even Adam was there. I was like, shit. So it's not that long ago, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, not that long ago is like 4+ years now.
Yeah,
4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
That's crazy. See, to me, Adam's only been on the show for a year, man.
No, man. No,
he was
man.
just a 10.
2016. I mean, 2016 is around.
That is the year it happened. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's a lot of things happened 2016. So.
Yeah, there was. But I'm like, who is that dude? So if anybody can identify that mystery man, Maybe I should just watch that episode and like.
Shit, I'll do it during the show. I'm curious now.
Yeah, man, like who is this dude? You know?
I'm also having trouble. This is how trouble I'm having trouble actually remembering who won that contest. Was it Dio that won it?
Baby, me.
I think it might have been Dio that won it.
Yeah.
Jeez, we're horrible, aren't we?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's bad. Hold on, your Carlos,
Keeping
man.
perfect
Hold
record.
on a second, man.
Oh,
Sabiba Poru, man. No, just kidding. Is that a Vita, baby? I see.
Yo, man, Vita, baby. Yo, man, want to give out a shout out to Riku, who's still fighting the fight, man.
He's still there, still on the Vita tip, you know.
Yo, man,
you know it's crazy. They're still releasing games on that shit.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, man. Vita is always
not bad for a dead console.
That's crazy. All right, man. Let's start the show. Now we're gonna do something cool. Like throw on your questions. We always have the chyrons down there, letting you know what we're answering. Now we're gonna have chyrons telling you what the subject's about. You know.
Oh shit. Yo, man, it's on.
Yeah. Also,
Awesome.
and it also helps us do something that we reintroduced to YouTube, or I started reintroducing. But I'm gonna have Carlos. I'm gonna have you help me with these two, putting timestamps back on the episodes, man. Because YouTube has this really cool thing now where if you scroll like through the bottom of the video, you actually see the topic under it. You know, through the time. It's hard to explain, but you guys will see it. So. If we have these things pop up, we'll know exactly when to start the video. So pretty cool stuff. What like when you start the video, let me try to explain this as best I can. When you start the video, you know how there's that kind of line that like turns redder and redder the longer the video is. You guys don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, do you? The timeline.
Yeah, the timeline at the bottom.
If you move the cursor over the timeline, if there are timestamps, you'll actually see the name of that segment pop up on the video, on the bottom of the video.
Also, the other crazy thing about it.
So basically, you don't have to scroll down to the descriptions anymore.
Actually, also the other thing about it is you can use the little there's a little arrow on the bottom of the YouTube video that you can just click and it'll go to the next part as opposed to just scrolling through.
Instead of going to the next video too, because that's what it does sometimes, or that's what it usually does.
Well, that's what it does. That's what it does when there's no timeline stuff on there. But usually when you have that when there's timeline stuff on there, you can actually swatch through it, and then it'll also show you the little sections of where in time a segment is. Yeah,
exactly. So you guys watching on YouTube after Twitch get to enjoy that, but that'll be after the show goes live. Obviously, we can't do it before it goes live, so it's just something good for you guys to have. And let's get into it, man. First topic of the night. Speaking about Google, by the way, Google's notorious for not exactly supporting their shit. And right now, they're actually dropping first-party Stadia studios, support for them, which we called almost a year ago. When Stadia was announced, we were like, okay, let's see how long this lasts. And it didn't last very long. Now, here's the thing. Stadia is still around for now, but first-party studios, done. I think they had 2 studios altogether, 150 employees no longer employed. Jade Raymond, gone, and I don't know what's going to happen with our boy Phil Harrison. The as Danny Pena calls him, the Grim Reaper of gaming. He strikes again.
I swear. After PlayStation 3 stuff, Phil has been cursed. In fact, that's what I said years ago when this was not years ago, but when Stadia was announced. I'm like, oh man, Phil Harrison.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Phil Harrison. Oh, I don't know about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Because listen. This guy was granted he was part of PlayStation when they were on fire. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 is when it started going bad. He moved on and he went over to what was it? Atari, which was a reversion of Atari. They produced the Ghostbusters game at the time. That fell apart. He went over to Microsoft, and he was part of the TV sports era of Xbox One. That fell apart. He moved over to Gaikai. That fell apart. Yeah. I mean, granted, Gaikai is PlayStation. PlayStation.
Now,
what is it? It's PlayStation Now, but is that really anything to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, it's successful, but yeah, Gaikai didn't fall. They just kind of got absorbed. So I'm not gonna put that against Phil Harrison, but all the other ones I definitely will. You know, like I said in the last Tony's Take, this guy has the anti-Midas touch. Everything he touches turns to ash.
And he may not. He's not like the. He was. I think he was in charge of the game portion, the game studios portion of Stadia, right? He wasn't the main guy.
No, he was the head. He was the head of it.
Oh, okay. Well,
he was the head guy. He was.
I'm gonna say
he was their version of Phil Spencer.
The one thing, the thing about it about Stadia is like I keep on saying with the other platforms, PlayStation, what is it, Xbox, they really needed to have that cornerstone title that says why you should be investing. Otherwise, what do they got? And then the mode of entry to get into it is stupid too. Why do you have to pay for a service and then also buy games that you don't own? Let's say Stadia loses the rights to have Ubisoft games on there. Oh well, they're gone, and then we get a Scott Pilgrim versus the World situation or a PT situation where you can't even get the game anymore.
They should have paid attention to what happened with Nvidia, because Nvidia with GeForce Now, over 2 years, because it was in beta for a long time, and they tried that model of, it's a service, you pay for this service to jump in, you buy the games, we're going to have our own games. People flipped out. They were like, this is too much, we're not doing it. So then they scrapped it. So when they went live, we link up with Epic Game Store, we link up with Steam, just play those games. You buy them on there, you can stream it on here, you pay $4.95 just to use that feature to connect to a stronger PC. And it's been working. They're still surviving. But then Stadia, they didn't bother with that. They said, no, we're going to pull it off. No, you can't pull it off. $60 for full price for an old ass game. People aren't going to pay that shit.
No, and then none of the games on there. I mean, this is Cyberpunk runs pretty damn well on there or something, but it's like an adjusted version of the console one. But again, like why go through the?
I think you can do it on GeForce Now too.
Their model is just totally screwy. If we're going to go down the line of, we're going down a subscription service, then go down the line of a subscription service and then do like everybody else is doing. Have, Ubisoft and all, you have a certain amount of games on there and then you pay them off, you pay off a monthly fee. Don't put so many blocks in the way of people getting to the games that they want to play.
Yeah, my thing is like, and I said this during the video. I was like, all right, because I've reviewed all of the major streaming services out there. Stadia, right? GeForce Now, Project X Cloud, Luna, and Shadow. I know a lot of people don't know about Shadow, so I reviewed all of those last year. Stadia was the worst out of all of them, just because of the fact that you had to buy games individually for $60. That's fucking stupid. And this other thing I want to bring up leading into it. Now, let's just be honest here. Stadia is going to be gone soon, right? This is like the first sign. Stadia's going to be gone. What happens if you're one of those people that bought games for $60 and Stadia's gone? Your game's gone. That's it.
Didn't they say they want
your whole collection is
they
done.
Don't want to kill it? No. They want to partner up with others to still use
They said
Stadia?
they're going to sell the technology, but I'm saying Stadia as an entity, as an app, that thing's going to be gone, man. Its days are numbered. So what happens to guys like our boy John Christ, like all the games he bought?
Yeah. Well, what happens? Yeah. What happens to all those? If the service decides to go belly up, what happens to all your wonderful games? They're gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they go away.
Yeah. So
I mean, I
don't think it'll be that way forever, though.
For Stadia? For Stadia?
No. So here's. I imagine that something like Stadia is going to go down, and people are going to go to court over it, and we'll probably end up eventually years down the road seeing some sort of, if you have the certificate that shows that you bought this game, then, you can transfer it to another platform or something like that. Not necessarily between Xbox and PlayStation, but like if something goes out of business, they will redeem you with a certificate that shows that you owe it or something like that. There's got to be some way to get.
They can partner with Steam or Epic or something like that, and be like, "Hey, you give us these codes, we'll accept it, and then transfer over."
And I don't know about that. I feel like I feel like a lot. I mean, granted, there's nothing that's ever happened like this before. Like there, especially when it comes to services like Gaikai and stuff like that. You didn't actually own those games. They were just doing a sort of streaming service. I've never seen anything like where you have a service that was similar to this, where they literally close the doors on. If they close the doors on it, what happens to all the money that you just spent? You spent
parent company.
Yeah.
And anybody that's left or anybody down the chain. And see, that's why I said they would happily provide some sort of CD key or something allowing them to transfer to another platform, because then they wouldn't be able, they make you sign something. It says basically you can't sue us. But, if somebody's got, $1,500 worth of games in their account, you say that you are buying a license to sell it. And maybe somewhere written in the terms and agreements that it says that they're just allowed to do this.
Maybe but I feel like that's it right there. That I think there's something in the terms of I mean, granted, I haven't read. Look, there's Tony. Whoa!
I'm back, baby.
So I granted, I think there is something in the terms of agreement which I haven't actually read before that probably says, "Yo, if we go belly up, you can't sue our asses," and you agree to this.
It's probably in there,
but,
But
yeah, there's a difference between going belly up and you can only really go truly belly up if you don't have a parent company.
Well, I'm saying maybe if they close down the service or something like that, maybe they're not responsible for any losses or something like that.
Well, if they decide to and they're unable to are two very different things. I understand.
Also, the other thing about services like this is that you are not paying. You're paying for the license. You are not actually owning the game, and I think that's their way around a lot of this.
Yeah, but okay, so you have a license. You've bought a license. Can you show that license to somebody else? Can you go to Steam? Because honestly, anybody should be smart to say, or it would be smart for any platform to say, I'll take in these game refugees, because nobody's going to charge them for the CD keys that they're passing along. So it's not like whatever platform it is losing money. They're just gaining users.
Mm-hmm.
So, I imagine that would be very easy to negotiate, since they, like you said,
it'll be CD Projekt Red that jumps in there.
Yeah.
Then we just send an email. They send an email. I could see them sending an email to whoever purchased the game. It's like, hey,
Adam will get the
here's a new
first.
code. Here's a new code to get it at the Epic or the Steam store. Sorry. That way they still keep the good relations with the customer. So it's like, yeah, it's no sweat or fallback. Here's a code for another platform. There you go. Enjoy. I could see it done that way.
Yeah, but no.
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
I could. Well, here's the I think what Adam and I are talking about is, after the ensuing shitstorm when they try and give somebody fucking nothing and just shut down a store, gamers are not going to put up with that shit, and there's going to be a backlash. I think Adam and I are talking about what happens after that backlash settles, because I think we can all agree at first they're going to be like, "Fuck you, you get nothing," and then some asshole gamer with a law degree is going to be like, "Actually." And they're eventually,
unless it's in a user agreement,
just send
even that
CD key.
Yeah, and I think if anything, it'll also be depending on the publisher. But I can see some publishers in good faith just saying, once they see this shit crumbling and be like, "Oh, we don't want this shit blown back on us." Hey, we'll send you guys whoever purchased it, because we can see who purchased it, because you get the confirmation. We'll send you a code from the Epic or the Steam store just to stay with us. It's not us; they're the bad guy. We're not the bad guy. We're not trying to screw you. You paid a full price game, for this game, meanwhile it's like $5 on other platforms.
Yeah. We'll see. Though. We don't know what they're going to do, but
who is going to?
I would say that
wait, what happened, Brett? What happened?
I said, who will willingly suffer the wrath of the gaming community?
I don't know, man.
Anybody
but
would.
Then again, it's like, yo, who? I'm sorry, I'm going to sound like a fucking asshole right now. How many dudes own Stadia? Like 10, So I don't think there's gonna be like mass fucking like protests and shit,
No, but you never
here's
know.
the thing. It's like the thing about it is, how many people do it, and this is the biggest telltale sign. They literally closed down their first party gaming studios before they even had anything.
Yeah.
You know what? They're not the first to do it. OnLive did it. Remember, OnLive was for a few years.
Yeah,
and you had to buy the games from them, and then that folded, and there goes that. Whatever money you put on that shit, done.
But yeah, no, I literally just thought about how many fucking people bought Stadia, I don't.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Gamers just rallied and saved GameStop.
No, Brad. I understand. But here's the thing. Yeah,
Redditors just rallied
the
and saved
Redditors did,
GameStop because
but that was a
have
lot of
fond
people.
memories.
You know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna tell you exactly because I know the heart of the gamer. Right. This was gonna happen. You're gonna have like 100,000 Stadia people mad, and then about 1 million gamers laughing at them for buying Stadia in the first place. I guarantee you that's what's gonna happen. There's not gonna be any unity here. They're gonna dog on these guys. You know,
until the high road train comes in and people go like, hold on a second, haha, Stadia's dumb and you were dumb for buying it. But Google really just fucked us. They just kind of just left us holding the bag and fucked us. I don't really feel okay with that, even though I didn't own a Stadia and I don't know anybody that owns a Stadia. I'll still be like, oh, that is fucked up. I'll talk shit on Twitter. It doesn't take much to talk shit.
I'll be like, you shouldn't have bought that fucking thing in the first place. That's your problem, bro. I'm being real, you know. Fuck it.
Tony's like, yo, man, you fell for the rope, though.
You should have read my review, motherfucker. I tried to warn you after
I
that.
warned you.
You did that shit yourself, man. I don't feel
I
no pity
warned
for
you
that
ass
shit.
not to
You know,
mess with that
you
shit.
should have
Okay,
read
hold on.
with my motherfucking review, son.
Whoa. So Tony, you're saying if something, even if you like something, if it's not going to work or if it's you can't be sure that the company's going to be there, you should avoid it.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it looked
Okay.
bad. We warned people about this shit. You know, after that, that's on them.
No.
You know?
I get it. You warned people that it wasn't good. You warned people that did it. What if somebody bought it and enjoyed it? We're talking about if they have a lot of games. They would only buy a lot of games on a Stadia if they liked it. So if they liked the product and they were enjoying it, then it comes down to how stable is the company putting it out. And I think that if we go by only the most stable of companies can release things, it's just, getting back to where we are now, where we have a small pool of video games. You know what I mean?
All I'm saying is I bought a 32X, man. So I understand how this shit works. Sometimes things just don't work out. That's just how it is. You know?
That's part of being
you bought a 32X and a Dreamcast.
Hey, I like the
Not
Dreamcast.
No, you bought a 32X, a Sega Saturn, and a Dreamcast.
So yeah, I fully understand how these things go. You know, I can't feel sorry. That's just what you do with a game. Sometimes you roll the dice, and sometimes you fucking lose. That's just how it is. You know.
Again, man, we're not talking about whether the system was a success. We're talking about the games that you own licenses to.
But it's all tied together, though. It's like you knew the risk going in.
Yeah, I mean that's part of why. That's part.
I can't feel sorry for those people. You know,
that's part of. I mean, I can't say that I don't feel sorry, but that's part of digital. That's part of the realm of digital.
Yep.
They'll probably. We haven't looked at the terms and conditions, but how much do you want to bet that there's some sort of clause that says that in there that says we are not responsible if games become unavailable. Or something like that to sort of protect their asses from this shit.
Yep.
But does that continue to good services? Like let's say hypothetically, Sony got the brand new Red Ring of Death. And I'm just saying that because we've already seen Microsoft get it.
They got coil wine though, Brett. You know,
dude, I'm highly aware of this.
Yeah, I know, brother.
But like, let's say it got the Red Ring and it was like pervasive, like 60% of systems, like enough to genuinely tank Sony. Would you still feel the same way when you lost all your Sony games? Or does this have more to do with the fact that the Stadia is a piece of shit?
Well, to be honest, though, like you're a first adopter, that kind of goes with the territory, you know? And you can't lose your games anyway on Sony because that's all in the cloud. You got to give a crazier scenario, like an EMP or something takes all your games away, you know? But
yeah,
no,
for the most
adopters, this is what happens, you know? So can't feel bad, man. That's just how it is.
For the most part, at least Sony and I think Microsoft, they say that you actually do own your games, and even when the games are some of the games are unavailable on the service, you can still download them if you purchase them. So
unless
if you
PT.
bought if you bought PT wasn't something that you bought, so
that is true.
You don't own it.
What about Ninja Turtles, man?
Ninja Turtles, the license went out on that one, so you couldn't. I don't remember if you could re-download that one.
They could do. Yeah.
I don't know if you can re-download that one, but Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
I have it on the Xbox. You could re-download it.
Turtles.
The Turtle. You just can't buy it new, but you could re-download.
Yeah. So what they do is that they essentially still keep the thing on the servers in the back end, and you could download them and delete them. But for stuff like like Scott Pilgrim the World, you can re-download that, but they can't officially resell them again.
Yeah. By the way, Blitz, what's going on, brother? to make
Yo,
it.
by the way-
He goes, you got to get physical media. I'm like, yeah, but what about in 20 years when you can't upload the updates, man? Either
Or
way,
you can't play
know?
it because the damn laser went bad. That went on a few of my consoles.
Mhm.
Laser just stopped reading the shits.
Yeah, this
but-
drives are fucking bullshit. Anyway, go on, Carlos.
That's the whole issue. It's like even in Tony's review that like part of the criticism is that you're paying $60 for a game you can only play in one service. That's online service for in the Google servers. So you should know what you're getting into when you subscribe to these types of services. Like, Game Pass. If Game Pass dies, I mean, like very well that you don't own any of those games. Or if they take out one of those games, if they let you know a month in advance, and that's good enough. But it's just a thing with these services. I mean, PS3 is discontinued. I mean, there's people that have digital games for the PS3. Are they complaining that they can't play those on the PS5?
Some are. Some are.
So there's a contingency of people of everything. So that be wary of what type of service. And that's just part of the risk.
I wonder what Jade Raymond and all those people are working on. Like some of the first party titles.
Google claims they're going to get them jobs. We'll see about that.
They're going to get them jobs? What kind of bullshit is that shit?
We're going to assure you get jobs.
We're sure we're going to get them a job.
No, it's simple. It's simple. We've just talked about it, how they always move on to another project. So they'll start something else and they'll dump everybody on that shit.
Well, the
and
thing is, they
cancel out, they'll move it somewhere else.
Well, no, they close down their first party studios. So that means that all those people are probably gone. Here's the thing. Somebody like Jade Raymond is probably going to be a safe one because they want to keep her around, not only because of her experience, with the promotion of actual games. They probably want to keep her around.
Keep her
but
around
everybody
for what?
else.
What is she going to do? There's no more first party studios. There's nothing.
I'm going to say this. Like, one of her expertise is the promotion of games. So you could probably use that as part of some sort of promotional person if she wants to do that sort of job. But it seems like she's been trying for quite a while to actually make a real game, and she hadn't had a lot of luck doing it either.
She's not going to be able to do that at Google now.
Yeah.
So,
like I don't
she's not at Google anymore. So
she needs to find like an actual studio to work for because Google ain't it. Again, there's no more first party games. That's it. It's done. So
and it's
wasn't she?
I want to know what's going on with our boy Phil Harrison. What else he's going to destroy next? I
don't know.
Actually, to be fair, Phil Harrison doesn't destroy things. He always manages to land on Titanics.
Yo, man, send him to North Korea. Send Phil Harrison to North Korea.
He's on the Titanic, and then he ends up on the other. What was it? The other ship that sank. What was it? The
Lusitania.
The Lusitania. Yeah, he goes from the Lusitania to the Titanic. It's like they're both sinking.
Yo, Manny, and he's the only one that keeps surviving these things.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. My brain's hurting here. Lusitania was World War I, right?
Yeah, it was like that.
So it's Titanic first, then Lusitania. Just got to get our timelines right. Yeah, so he was on the Titanic. He survived the Titanic, get hit by the iceberg. Then he goes to Lusitania and gets hit by a fucking German missile. It's like, damn, dude.
Like, not this again, and he jumps into the first lifeboat. Oh, fuck.
I mean...
And then he just so happens to be walking around Nagasaki and shit one day. Oh, what the fuck is that?
What the fuck
it's like shit. I got a buddy in Hiroshima. Let me go over there and tell him it's just going down.
What the fuck?
Oh, man. I feel Harrison, you're in the wrong places, bro. So that's what I'm saying. He's not the cause of it. He's just there at the bad times, know?
It's just crazy. Like, Jade Raymond has made a game in over a decade now.
What was the last game she made?
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
No, what was the last game she made?
No, Manny was about to say it.
No, the thing about it, she hasn't actually made a game at all. The only thing she was involved was part of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
What was that?
Mm-hmm.
Assassin's Creed. That's 2007.
It was like Assassin's Creed
14 years ago.
Yeah, and she's been since trying to make a game for that amount of time, and every single point she's been sort of something's happened. Wasn't she at EA?
Yeah, she was at EA.
Yeah, she was at EA.
Yeah,
it's
one.
weird, man. I don't know. I don't know why they got the boot so fast. They didn't even release a game. They didn't show a demo. They didn't show a trailer. They didn't announce anything. It's just
Probably have very low subs.
Well, I think
Yeah, I don't know.
the thing about it is that they shouldn't have gone about this, but like, okay, we're gonna wait for people to jump on, and then we're gonna start making some games, or they're working on the games as people are coming to the service. What should have happened is that they probably should have waited before they launched that service, and until they actually had some games to go with it, and then number two, scrapped the whole $60 pay, and then essentially
They
make this
should have
another
gone,
service.
a full-on subscription service. That's what they should have done from the jump. That's ultimately what killed this thing. Because here's the thing, and I said this in my review, right? The actual Stadia itself, the service, it's great, right? You log in, it's really snappy, right? The interface looks good, better than the fucking PS5 and Xbox UIs and shit. I'm being real. Everything's there, everything's easy to access. You load up your game, deals up fast, no input lag whatsoever, or perceptible input lag. It is a great service. The problem was the pricing. No one is trying to pay a subscription service and piecemeal games for $60. Absolutely ridiculous, right? Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Luna just came out like fucking couple months ago. That shit is way better. For $14 you get their games and Ubisoft games, and you get their controller too. It's fucking great. So, and again, Google Stadia has all the right pieces in place. It's just that fucking pricing killed the whole thing. So, it is what it is, man. But again, we fucking told you guys from the jump. We told you guys when we saw this, you're like, no, this is not going to work. And it was never about like game streaming is bad or whatever. It was never about that. It's just Google Stadia's pricing is fucking bad. That was the problem, because all these other servers I listed before, they're all doing great. No problems with them whatsoever. It's this fucking thing that was the problem. So I'm not surprised by any of this shit. It's unfortunate, obviously, that all these people are losing their jobs and shit, but
Yeah.
fucking crazy, man. All right, any last thoughts on the Google Stadia's eventual demise?
I mean, I feel bad, but it is what it is. It's Google, so they get one, they shed that one, and they're gonna go into something else. What's the next one for Google?
I saw somebody posted that. Actually, there's a website. I forgot the name of the site, but it's like Google Kills, and they've listed all the things that Google has killed. I stopped scrolling after 6 pages. I'm like, okay, I get the point. It's like, shit.
I think it's Google Graveyard or Google something.
Like
yeah, it's like Google Graveyard or Google. It has the best name ever, and it's exactly what Tony says. It basically dates everything that Google has tried and everything that they have killed in their lifespan, and it's so much stuff.
Wow.
I'm really surprised that you got that far, Tony, because I did not.
Yeah.
After a while, I was like, this is too much. Like, this is way too much. This is depressing how much it is.
For me, the joke just ran thin, It kind of, I was like, what the, like, really? Okay, I get the point now. I was about to say, like, the joke ran thin 15 minutes into WandaVision, but that's a whole other story,
Oh!
It's a great show, by the way. It finally got good.
You say so.
Yeah. All right. Let us move on to the next topic, which I believe is we got a treat for you guys tonight, baby. Chris, man, it is time to talk about financials. I know you guys out there love your fucking financial reports, and Chris got you, man. So tonight we're gonna go over Sony and Nintendo's financials. So Chris, I give you the floor, sir.
We're away from the load.
Oh wait.
What's going on? Let's go. We're starting with Nintendo.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
okay. I was worried because it looked weird on my screen.
No, we're good.
Yeah,
right.
it was.
So
You can see it.
You can see it.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So Nintendo and Sony both put out their quarter 3 financial reports. I'm going to look at the 9-month period between the end of the last fiscal year, which is March 31st of 2020 till December 31st of 2020. Only because Sony was kind enough to break theirs down and Nintendo was not, so I have to compare apples to apples. So I'm going to use the 9-month gap. Both companies, I'll just say, well, when I preface companies, PlayStation did very well, right? And so did Nintendo. Now I'm gonna read to you. Let me start by reading Nintendo's statement. So I'll start with their report. So they say during the 9 months, Nintendo Switch business saw continued growth for Paper Mario: The Origami King, released in July, selling 3.05 million units. Super Mario 3D All Stars, selling 8.32 million. In addition, strong showings were posted for 2 titles released in October: Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, I think that's the AR game, selling 1.08 million, and Pikmin 3 selling 1.94 million units. Titles released in the previous fiscal years also retain momentum and sell well. Animal Crossing sold 19.41 million units for a cumulative sales total of 31.18 million units. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold 8.64 million units, which is nuts. Remember, this is in just this 9-month period I'm talking about. Mario Kart 8, 8.64 million units for a cumulative lifetime is 33.41. And Ring Fit sold 5.95 million, so it's 8.68 million lifetime for that game. And as a result, hardware sales reached 24.1 million units, an increase of 35.8% year over year. And software sales reached 176.10 million units, an increase of 43% year on year. So blah, 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 they talk about Pokemon, they talk about online. They said their mobile-related business. It's funny for a company that says they're ditching mobile. Their mobile business actually increased 13.8%.
Wow.
Year over year. So it's interesting. There's a couple of things missing from this statement that I was telling Tony about earlier today. I find interesting that Hyrule Warriors is nowhere on this, even though it was their holiday game. Nowhere is it mentioned. I know it's I would count it as second party, even though it's Koei Tecmo. It's basically Dynasty Warriors. They gave them the assets and the story to use. Like, they put lore in that game, so that game actually has story that is a prequel to Breath of the Wild. So you would think they would mention it, right?
Yeah.
So either that game tanked, right, which is what I'm thinking. I because I have no other good answer for why it wouldn't appear on this report. You tell me you released a game that was your game for the holiday, besides like a Pokemon DLC. But that was it. That was your game for the holiday. Not on here. And the second elephant in the room, I was going to put up a picture, but I won't do it. Is they didn't mention the Chinese enrichment we went through last year.
Yeah.
So which I would say accounted a big part for this, right? I mean, they can mention all the titles they want. It's like, bruh, people were stuck at home. They said their digital sales shot through the roof. It's like, because people are locked down, and this was the only form of entertainment available to them. And I'll show you that even more when I get to the Sony report. So let's just see. So how well did Nintendo do over last year?
Let's see.
So their net sales last year when I did this, I converted this into dollars so people can understand it. They were roughly at 9.7 billion in net sales when I did this report for 2019. They're at 13.3 billion for this period. So that's an increase of 37.3%. So what I'm accounting for that is, yes, they had a huge sales boom. Animal Crossing did well for them, and yada, yada, but it was really because their sales went up. Games in general had a boom because of Rona, and that was the main factor pushing all these sales, especially digital sales, were pushed up because people couldn't go to the movies, people couldn't really go out, and this was the entertainment available for them, and so. They received a huge boost in sales, and their hardware. Here's the thing: the hardware was strangled this time legitimately for Nintendo because manufacturing in China collapsed because of lockdowns, and so the Switch sales went up because more people were trying to acquire them, and their supply actually, I would say, genuinely decreased. They didn't have any,
or no artificial scarcity bullshit. That Nintendo loves to
this
do.
was real.
Yeah.
But so. If you look at the chart here, so I charted their operating profit. This is profit after you deduct the cost of sales. So I know the fans. I keep going over this over and over again, but a lot of people, online, especially Nintendo fanboys will be like, "Oh, they made all this money." Well, you realize for every dollar you spend on promoting a product, right? 50 cents of that dollar is gone because you have to promote it, right? You spend half of that on marketing, on point of purchase, dealing with the retailers, shipping the product. There's all these costs, right? So after cost, you get your operating profit. So really, what you see after that, last year they saw about 2.5 billion in operating profit. Well, this time they're at almost 5 billion in profit. So, and I put the difference is 98.19%. So you almost doubled your operating profit. And you're like, well, how can that be? It's because their net sales overall was huge. The value of it was tremendous. So even though their cost of sales may have gone up maybe 10 or 15%, it was a low number to begin with. Their net sales jumped significantly. So they saw their profit almost double over last year. And so Nintendo has had a very good year. Their total profit so I break this down. I usually don't do ordinary profit because that's I have to usually on the full fiscal year report that I do. I'll show you ordinary profit. Ordinary profit just means you deduct your extraordinary losses. So you have obviously foreign exchange rate issues, selling in Europe, selling in the United States, and all that stuff. And I'll break that down, and then you get ordinary profit. Your total profit is after you pay the government. So you pay your taxes, you pay your shareholders, you adjust everything, and then you have your total profit. So their total profit this time last year was $1.86 billion. This year it's $3.57 billion, right? Again, an increase of 91.79%. So that's a huge boon. Like that, literally. So, I mean, in dollars, I try to be accurate. That's why I'm giving you these values. But if you just boost it a little, you're like, wow, they almost doubled their profit.
That's crazy.
Since last year, right? So, and yeah, I mean, they don't mention it. I would love to know what the sales value for the sales number for Hyrule Warriors is, because I find it very interesting. It was missing from this report. Not a mention of Rona anywhere on this report, by the way.
Really?
Not one. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm like, where do you think the boon in digital sales comes from? They're like, we had this boon. We have this explosion of digital sales. Yes, you did. You know why? Something happened last year. I don't know. Gee, what was it?
Yeah. And also the other thing, it's like, I'm guessing also the part of the operation cost is that being that they're not actually shipping a bunch of products, right? And a lot of it is digital. That a lot of their sales were digital. That means that they didn't need to constantly be shipping things, correct?
Yeah, I mean, you could cut your expenses in some areas, right? So you cut people in the office, you cut some certain bills, you cut shipping and whatever because you're selling digitally. But you also pick up costs in other areas. Like if your network infrastructure is overtaxed, you have to boost it. So you have to pay for extra servers and extra power and all that stuff. So you'll cut something. It's like, yeah, they're not shipping, they're not driving trucks, and not spending money on fuel and all that stuff. But then it's like, oh well, Nintendo Switch Online is going to crash with everybody accessing it, so you need to boost the number of servers and whatever. So you pay in other ways. So their administrative expenses did go up since last year, and I think some of that is due to them having to restructure how they operated because of Rona, like people operating outside of the office, and then increase in digital sales meant they had to work on their network infrastructure and all that stuff. Their cost of sales went up slightly, and that's probably due to them just taking out more online advertising. They wanted to boost sales because people were home, so they probably got more commercials, put up more ads, things like that. So it's probably marketing that ate up most of that. Yeah. So, but overall, Nintendo did pretty well for themselves.
Oh, there you go. I just find it funny how they didn't even mention the reason why the digital sales went up. Like, how really, guys? Come on, it's pretty fucking obvious what happened here.
Yeah, already that whole thing. There's no Rona anywhere
At
in
all.
this.
Nothing. That is
So
incredible.
yeah.
All right, so
So,
let us move on to Sony.
let's look at Sony now. So Sony, and when I talk about Sony, I mean PlayStation
PlayStation, yes,
specifically.
yes.
And in their financial report, if you go look at it yourself, PlayStation's referred to game and network services. That's the PlayStation arm of Sony. And Sony has different breakdowns, so I'll show you here. The top one, and you notice PlayStation gets the top spot because it's practically the top earner in the company.
Yeah.
Games and network services, you have Sony Music, Sony Pictures, electronic products and services, imaging and sensor services, financial, and all other. I don't know what falls under all other. Sort of Sony in Japan and other places have other businesses. I'm not sure, so that kind of is dumped in there. But going back here, net sales for Sony boosted almost as much as it did for Nintendo. So overall, their sales were higher. Net sales at this time last year in Q3 for 2019 was 14.177 billion US dollars. This year it's 18.56 billion, so that's an increase of 31%. Again, Sony was more honest in their report. They directly referenced COVID-19 as a reason for both, and I'll show you in a second, as both a boost for game and network services and a detriment to Sony Pictures. Sony Pictures took a huge dip. Obviously, theaters were closed, all that stuff. They pushed off most of their movies to this year and maybe next year, so that's going to take a hit.
Man, I was waiting to see that Morbius movie, man.
Morbius.
Boy.
Yeah, so their operating profit, which is, like I said, after you subtract cost of sales, so how you made out. So it was 1.82 billion this time last year. Now it's at 2.929 billion this year, an increase of 60.8%. So that's a huge boost. And again, let me go into their financial statement.
Yeah, by the way, while you're doing that, I should tell people that the reason we aren't doing Microsoft's is because you cannot find the Xbox division in there. It's like you have to weed through so much shit because they don't make it easy like Sony, you know?
Yeah, it's very hidden. I mean, and Sony's this is easy. Sony actually, all right, this is not fanboyism. Sony's breakdown is pretty damn good. I think they have the best breakdown considering they're a huge company with multiple divisions. Their financial report, I think, is the best structured. And Nintendo comes in right after them. Again, great structure. Microsoft, I might as well go try to find one of the treasures in Indiana Jones trying to find Xbox numbers. It is terrible. Like I hate it. I hate looking at the report. I'll try for the fiscal year when I do these numbers again for you guys in April. I'm going to try to read Microsoft's report, but I swear, out of their report is huge. It's like 80, 90 pages of a financial report, and barely like a paragraph might be on Xbox.
Man.
That's how sad it is. Okay, so all right, let me. I know I had a better chart here. I thought I had it ready.
Chats.
You guys vamp while I find there.
Yeah. But again,
money.
Yeah. I know. Sony. You'll probably bring it up. The PlayStation 5 has already sold like 4.3 million, I believe, which is 4.5 million. My bad. And which is the exact amount of PS4 sold at the same time. So doing very well, you know, despite all the craziness, shortages, scalpers, all this other shit. Here's the thing. Those scalpers, those things that they bought, those count as sales. Unfortunately,
they do. That's the thing about a lot of it is that's why that's why places like Walmart and stupid Target aren't doing anything to quell any of this silliness because they're like, we're making a sale, whatever.
Yeah, right, Chris, this is it.
Yeah, so this is their games and network services segment. So you can see here the year over year. This is in yen, by the way. I did the conversion on my spreadsheet for dollars. but I'll just read the bullet points here. So they said sales, 40% significant increase, and so they do plus and minuses. So they do impacts, which is great. So it said FX is financial exchange, so foreign exchange is the currency exchange. So they said increase in game software sales, including add-on content, and increase in hardware sales due to PlayStation 5 launch. Operating income increase in software sales, increase in network services sales, mainly from PlayStation Plus, so added subscriptions. Higher profit margins from PlayStation 4 hardware, which is surprising. So I guess I'm assuming that the just the limited supply of PS5s forced people maybe to holiday buy PS4s because they just couldn't get their hands on it. So that was interesting. The impact was increased selling, general and like I said, administrative expenses related to the launch of PS5. So probably just getting it out the door and shipped and packed and everything. They probably had to spend extra money and extra resources to do that. And they said loss resulting from strategic price points of PS5 hardware that was set lower than the manufacturing cost. So they took a hit on PS5. Is what they're saying.
Yeah. They're selling at a loss, right?
Real
they're
quick.
selling them at a loss. Yeah.
You know, we were speculating before the consoles even came out, before we even got a price. It's like, yeah, these things look like they should sell like at $600.
Yeah.
Because, you know, $400, you know, is 400 and 500 seems like with all the tech that's coming within these systems, it looks like they might be selling these at a loss. And it turns out that happens to be the case.
That's exactly what it is. Yep.
Most times with these consoles,
they always sell them at a loss. Yeah,
they're always selling them at a loss.
Well, not Nintendo is,
not Nintendo because they put on that cheap.
They put cheap ass parts,
but like real consoles are always sold at a loss. You know.
I don't know if was the PS4 at a loss. I know the PS3 for sure was at a loss.
Yep. I remember.
It didn't take that long for the 4 to start profiting, though.
It took the PS3 many years. But we even covered it on Throwdown. Like when PS4 started making a profit, it was a year later. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it took.
PS3 took a while. Yeah.
It took a long time for obvious reasons. Anyway, Chris, what are we looking at right now?
Okay, so this is a snapshot of the year-over-year change, Q3 2019 versus Q3 2020. So what I was explaining is Sony's big profit maker right now is, besides their financial services, is PlayStation. So right here, they're saying their sales and operating revenue increased 9% over last year, and they attribute to significant increases in game and network services and the music segment. So actually, Sony Music did pretty well. And they attribute the loss to significant decrease in pictures and imaging and sensor service segment sales. So the camera business is not doing too well. And so interestingly, if you look at operating income, they said significant increase in game and network services, obviously, electronic products and services. So what's interesting about Sony is because it's a big company, you'll have something called inter-segment sales. And what that means is one part of the company can actually sell components to another part of the company, and that they have to report that in their financial statement. So let's say like some of the parts in the PS5 is made by their electronic products and services, right? Yeah. And the parts in the PlayStation camera is made by the imaging and sensor service, right? So these parts, they can't just hand the parts to one other department. They have to sell them, and they have to be declared as sales. So there's that's part of it as well. So inter-segment sales count as part of their revenue stream. So if the electronic products and services has a boost because of inter-segment sales, it's probably because they're selling those parts to the camera division and PlayStation.
Oh, crazy!
Yeah. So they said significant increase in game and network, electronic products and services, music, pictures, and financial service separate segment operating income. So I think pictures is in here overall, probably because of streaming. Even though in a bigger sense in net sales, it's a loss because of the theaters, and I'll let them explain because they have a nice little breakdown here If you look at these charts, let me go to the pictures segment. You can see year over year they had a 19% decrease over last year, and they attribute to significant decrease in sales for motion pictures. And right here, absence of major theatrical releases during the current fiscal year resulting from theater closures due to COVID-19. So they actually said it.
Yeah, they
right?
acknowledge it. Yeah.
Yeah. Lower home entertainment television licensing sales for current year titles due to absence of major theatrical releases. So basically,
shit.
without movies coming out in the theaters, they don't have any licensing to put on home video.
Yeah,
right?
DVDs
The movies
and
didn't
shit.
come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they lose out. But they had a boost from, it says, higher television licensing, home entertainment from prior year and catalog sales.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So
because people
yeah,
were home, you know. So yeah, that makes sense.
right. So again, like and I did when I did their fiscal year last year too. I think every report I've done since I've reported on Sony's, PlayStation is the biggest part of the company besides their financial, and their music division makes money also. Usually the losing part is the cameras, which they seem to just still be going. They're propping it up, right? So the imaging is losing. Pictures has been down. It's down even worse now because of Rona, but they weren't doing too hot to begin with.
Yeah.
So very interesting breakdown from Nintendo. Only has one report, right? They just handle games, hardware, games, software. I know they have other businesses in Japan. They report as extraordinary income because they own hotels and casinos and shit. But I don't really read that part because that's only in Japan. Everywhere else, it's just video games and the Switch.
Yeah.
Right?
What? No Nintendo Hotel?
Yeah, and that's what's that's what's relevant to this show anyway. So that's fine.
See, I'm not paying attention to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, both companies have done rather well for themselves over the last year, and I'll see how the full picture looks year over year. I'm guessing that overall they're going to look good because again, they got boosted by people being home, being locked down in Rona,
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Thanks a lot for that, as usual. And shout out to the fans who always crave this stuff. Like, we're probably one of the few gaming podcasts that could get away with this stuff because the fans demand it. I fucking love it, It's great. Well, shout out to you guys, and thank you, Chris. All right, let us move on to the next story. This is my favorite story of the night, by the way, people. All right. Okay. He has since apologized. We'll talk about that in a bit. But the Moon Studio CEO, Thomas Mailer, Ori and the Blind Forest, Will and the Wisp, he had some harsh things to say about the developers of CD Projekt Red and No Man's Sky. He basically called them snake oil salesmen. They promise you a bill of goods and all that. And he went in, And I want to read his statements directly. He goes, it all started with Peter Molyneux, our boy, Peter Molyneux. He was the master of, instead of telling you what my product is, let me just go wild with what I think it could be and get you all excited. And that was fine until you actually put your money down. Then the game was nothing like what Peter was hyping it up to be. And then, so that's what he said about Peter Molyneux. Peter Molyneux is one of the running jokes on Throwdown. It's like, for obvious reasons. We could plant a seed in a garden and you watch it grow for 20 years in Fable. That never fucking happened. And Peter Molyneux, he even came out and admitted that he lied just to wake journalists up during press events. He admitted it. He said, I may have fibbed. Like, no, you lied, brother.
God.
And then this is what he had to say about No Man's Sky. Even days before No Man's Sky release, he hyped up the multiplayer Sean Murray that didn't even exist and was all too happy to let people think that No Man's Sky was Minecraft in space where you could literally do everything. You being able to do everything is generally a common theme behind gaming snake oil salesmen because, hey, that sort of attracts people. Damn, my man going in, And then about CD Projekt Red, he goes, here the entire CD Projekt Red PR department took all the cues from what worked for Molyneux and Murray and just went completely apeshit with it. Gamers were led to believe that this is a sci-fi GTA first person. What's not to love? Every video released by CD Projekt Red was carefully crafted to create a picture in players' minds that was just insanely compelling. They stopped just short of outright saying that this would cure cancer. This strategy resulted in a sensational 8 million pre-orders. and he goes, I know this whole thread might come off as me sounding bitter, and I'm sure there'll be some people that see this as me shitting on other developers. No, I'm not. I'm shitting on liars and people that are okay with openly deceiving others. My man.
Damn.
Yo, he said it like it is, man. He goes, there, I said my piece. I felt like a chip I need to get off my shoulder. And I think this is a wrong. And I think this is a wrong that we should set right so this doesn't happen again. Bravo, sir. Well done. I'm just upset he had to apologize. You know, but he's the head of the he's the head of the studio, so I get it. You know, he shouldn't have been talking shit. But everything he said was 100% right. Everything.
That's how you know he's speaking from like a gamer's perspective. Mm-hmm. That's what it sounds like. He's like, yeah, these motherfuckers have been doing all this bullshit. It's like it makes us look bad, the people who make games and are true to our visions and what we, you know, sell people. But he's the head of the company, so you know you kind of understand why.
Yeah, he said all those things on Reset Era, by the way, just so you guys know.
You kind of have to lose. You sort of lose the ability to talk full on truth when you're the head of a company. He probably should have chosen better words to sort of express his opinion. You know what I mean? Like, you know, openly calling people snake oil salesmen, saying, you know, put shit out and stuff like that. Essentially, put out the scathing review of what's happening, but without being so blunt. But the bluntness actually does help it too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, again, I really like the fact that he did that, but in his position, he shouldn't be doing that. Let guys like us do that, bro. You know, even though I appreciate the realness, but that was crazy because you don't, you know, for obvious reasons, you don't get to see this type of stuff. Behind the scenes, fucking, it's a different story. I could tell you guys stories, but, you know, you
don't, I mean, here's the thing, like, there's a general industry sort of speak, like in public you don't actually say the things, you know, the things that you actually think. You actually say a sort of adjusted version of something. Like, I don't believe that these guys did right on the blah blah. In other words, a sort of nice version of saying you fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, but he literally just said you fucked up.
Yeah, we call him snake oil salesman.
Yeah,
he was right. I'm sorry, he was right. He was 100% right.
The one thing about it is that, like, again, I think with both of these situations, I don't think they were openly lying. I think they fully intended to have these things inside of there, with the exception of Peter Molyneux. I fully think that they wanted to put these things inside there, but for whatever reason, especially with somebody like Sean Murray's company, which only had like 20 people, and they'll probably bit off a lot more than they can chew, and with CD Projekt Red, who probably needed a lot more time than they were actually giving their people.
Yeah.
Excuse me, not probably, definitely needed a lot more time.
Yeah, well, you know, we saw the problem with Cyberpunk. They purposely didn't let game journalists review the last gen games for obvious reasons. You know,
they knew they it's sad that that guy had to go on. He went on there and said, "Oh yeah, we didn't know. What do you call that shit? You knew."
Yeah, you knew. You know, and then remember they flat out said, like, "Oh yeah, the last gen versions run surprisingly well." Okay, bro. Okay.
So it runs worse than what everybody thought then.
Yeah, no, it's just a flat out lie. That's all it was. You know, No Man's Sky, my man, Sean Murray. We talked about this years ago when it first came out. This guy said yes to everything every time he did an interview. Is this game gonna have multiplayer? Yes. Is it gonna let you have big space battles? Yes. You know, like, he said yes to everything. He didn't say no. You could tell he wasn't fucking trained. Yep. You know.
No.
Yeah. No media training.
It almost felt like he didn't want to disappoint people.
Yeah. I would see it, but again, because I have trained for, I'll be like, stay tuned. You know, I wouldn't say that. Just stay tuned. You know, what was he talking about? Yeah. You know, because you don't want to say you weren't working on it, because then you're promising. You know, or you can just say that the standard. You can say the standard. We are not discussing that at this time.
Or we would like to.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, not even that, because then you're
That's probably that can be considered a confirmation too, right?
in the negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what Sean Murray should be like. Listen, we're not discussing that at this time. That's it. I hate that phrase, but it works, and it's it's not honest, but it is also not lying either.
It reminds me of a story when I was interviewing a particular rapper, and they were like, "Oh, let's do this in his car, his SUV."
Wait, did his rapper graft a diamond to his forehead by any chance?
No.
$24 million diamond.
Nope.
Anyway, go on. Yeah.
But it was funny. So it's like, all right. So it was me and it was a photographer that we're gonna go. And we head over there, and rapper's there, and we see somebody in the back seat. I'm like, oh, who's this? Like, oh, this is my publicist. I was like, oh, that's weird. It's like, all right. So anyway, I had a bunch of questions, and then it was almost as if we were in court, and she was the lawyer. She's like, no, he's not answering that. Next question. And I guess it was like you were just talking about. It's like they're trained to say certain things and to avoid certain things, but I guess they felt that he wasn't good at that. So they were like, no, you're going to have the publicist. You're going along with him to make sure he doesn't say this, that, and start talking some shit that he shouldn't be saying. So she shut me down on a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
And it was really funny, though, because it's like, I'm here, he's sitting in the driver's seat, the photographer is behind me, and then I can see the publicist. And you ever have that feeling like someone's just staring at you?
Yeah.
And I look over at you, and she was like grilling, like trying to see my notes or whatever I was doing. I was like, shit, I mean, this isn't an OJ thing. I'm just asking him, bro. It's nothing crazy, but man, she came
That's
down.
That's the part of a publicist. A publicist is supposed to there to sort of keep you on message, because sometimes, again, especially if you're a person who just talks fairly freely and is not there, these people are there to sort of keep you on message or stop you from feeling stuff. If you ever looked at, sometimes we'll see like when you see a game developer, sometimes you'll see a publicist sitting right next to them and be like, they'll try to sort of chime in like, no, we're not going to be talking about that right now, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll let the guy talk a little bit more, the actual developer.
Yeah. As a matter of fact,
you've had situations like that, right?
As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I've told this story, but I'm going to tell you guys a story, right? So the last time I was at E3, this was 2018. This was the year I done the most interviews I've ever done in my life, right? So there was one day in particular, I was doing back-to-back interviews, and I've noticed a pattern, right? There was always the PR person that invited me. They were always sitting there, right? And I started wondering, because, you start doing all these interviews, you kind of start getting bored and shit. So I'm wondering, like, why are they always there? So I asked one, right? I think it was Bandai Namco. I was like, hey, I got a question, man. Why is it that there's always a PR person here? Is it to make sure that I don't ask the question I'm supposed to? He's like, no. It's to make sure they don't say something they're not supposed to. I'm like, oh, that shit makes fucking sense. Because, and I've had this instance, I can say it publicly, right? So I was doing a preview. I went to this was back when we used to do press events. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a time long ago last year when we used to go to gaming events and cover games for you guys, right? So I was doing a preview of Kingdom Hearts 3, right? And I did my thing, and it was just me and the Square Enix guy. That's it, right? And unless I'm told not to, I will always put everything on the record, unless I'm told not to. Obviously, if they tell me don't put on record, I don't put shit on record, right? So I did my thing. I did my write-up. Goes up. Nothing. I didn't really catch any traction, which is kind of interesting. 2 weeks later, it starts blowing the fuck up because the Kingdom Hearts community got a hold of it. And like, oh, look at all this information this guy put in there. Even though I'm not a Kingdom Hearts guy like that, I'm very fucking thorough with my shit, So I put a bunch of stuff in there. And the thing they latched onto was the playtime, right? Like I said, it was 80 hours of playtime. That's what the publicist guy told me, Square Enix, they got back to me like, yo, can you change that? Because, he slipped. He wasn't supposed to do that. It wasn't my fault, obviously. Nobody told me not to, but, that's why they have, PR people in there, just to make sure everything's on the up and up, So that's what's going on. Well, at least that's what Sean Murray needed, just to go back around to the main topic. I almost forgot what the fuck we're talking about. So, that's what Sean Murray needed, a handler. He needed to go,
When he was on what was it the Tonight Show, he should have literally had somebody sitting next to him, talking, helping him out with certain things, essentially kind of coaching him, like, listen, what's the deal with your game? Number one, if these things are not going to be in the game, do not mention them, even though as much as you would love to have them in there, and they all eventually work their way into it.
Yeah, they did. So
But don't make any promises that you can't keep.
yeah. So I mean, this little spat was very short lived, but very interesting to see a developer call out another developer very truthfully. Very interesting.
I'm going to say this.
Yeah,
it makes sense for him to sort of talk about that stuff, because I feel like he hasn't hit the threshold of being a AAA developer.
No,
he's still sort of I don't want to say a punk, but he's one of those, he's an independent developer still. He hasn't reached the level of, of at least the other guys. Maybe Sean Murray, because they're still an independent studio.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll see a general difference between an indie when a company makes the transition from an indie development team, where they're sort of punky and like, yeah, we're gonna take over the gaming scene, blah 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 blah, that stuff, and then they'll be like, we are proud to announce our new title. Then they become trained.
Yeah, for sure. Interesting stuff, man. All right, and the next story I want to discuss tonight on the old Throwdown Show. You can hear me vamping, right? Okay, so the Embracer Group, who owns THQ Nordic, has bought Gearbox, the makers of Borderlands. So pretty interesting. They're a Swedish group, as I'm reading right now. But interestingly enough, 2K Games, they still own the rights to the property, but they say that this acquisition doesn't change the relationship. So I don't know what the hell that means, to be honest, but pretty interesting stuff nonetheless. All these like studios gobbling each other up. You guys have anything to say about that? I don't play Borderlands.
Borderlands?
Yeah, Borderlands. Yeah.
No. 2K said that they still own.
They still own the rights. Yeah.
But all right. So that's it. It's
Gearbox is still going to be publishing the games, though. Yeah.
Yeah. But when it comes to whatever gets produced for the Borderlands series, 2K has final say.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Because I don't really pay attention to Gearbox, but I'm kind of not surprised they haven't been doing very well lately.
All they have is Borderlands.
That's all they have. That's all they have, And then, of course, all the problems with Randy Pitchford, their controversial head there, the guy's always in the headlines for something. So, yeah, so I'm kind of not surprised that, they were just bought out like that, or decided to sell, I guess.
How did the I mean, is Randy Pitchford still there? I mean, was he still? Did he still own it, or was he like a? Because I know that was his company.
Yeah, he's still there.
He must have sold it, but he still runs it. It's one of those things, It's like you sell it and then you still keep people around.
I'll just read a quick thing Randy Pitchford said. He goes, "The feeling at Gearbox is that we are just getting started, and this transaction is not merely a stimulant for the talent of our employee-owned company, but a propellant for the exciting future we have planned." I mean, that, general boilerplate fucking statement, but he's still there.
They tried. I mean, if some of those games that they pushed out would have worked out for them, I think they'd be okay. But
Colonial Marines, man.
Yeah, all of that. There was that other.
There was some Battleborn.
Yeah, Battleborn.
Yeah, Battleborn. All that stuff that they tried, it just didn't work out. Borderlands 3 is great, but you can't have one game unless it's freaking Rockstar. You can't have one game just keep you afloat.
Yeah, and the Borderlands games seem to be like diminishing returns, right? Like, isn't it like the first one is still considered the best one? I could be wrong about that. I don't know.
Still work because they're still releasing content and people still buying it.
Yeah,
they were one of the few games for the PS5 that actually at launch had a PS5 proper version plus new content, and I covered that one because that was a big deal. A lot of them, like even now, we're playing the Division 2, and they sort of half-assed it on this. 4K 60 FPS, it looks beautiful, but it's still not a proper PS5 version.
Yeah,
or Series X version, so you don't have the haptic feedback, you don't have the cards, you don't have all that. Just go all out. If you're gonna do it, just do it right. So they went all out on it. Same thing. It was beautiful, but You can't just survive in one game.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Anybody else have anything to say about Gearbox? I really don't, to be honest.
No, I mean, I mean, to be honest, the company that owns THQ Nordic, Nordic Games or whatever, they've been doing pretty good with whatever they have. They look like they've been sticking their nose into their business. They just look like they're just trying to get some money. So
Yeah.
Taking over though, they pick up everybody that struggles. They just pick them up. They got Saints Row. They got a bunch of IPs.
Well, yeah, they literally
Destroy All Humans.
Yeah, once they picked up THQ, they literally picked up all those franchises that were not the ones. And then remember, Saints Row did for a second was produced by another company after THQ, and then they gobbled
them up.
They gobbled that up.
Yeah, because remember they got, I forgot the name of the original company. They bought up all the THQ Nordic Studios or THQ Studios, excuse me. Then they changed their name to THQ Nordic because they had all the studios.
They bought the name and they didn't do anything with it.
Nordic Games.
It was Nordic Games.
Nordic Games.
Yeah.
So Nordic Games bought all these THQ franchises. They were like, "Fuck it, we're THQ Nordic now." They
chose a more recognizable name than Nordic Games.
Mm-hmm.
Nordic Games, what do you know that they make?
Yeah, Nordic Games. So what do you, some Viking shit? Like what the fuck?
I mean, they've actually made some decent games, but what did they make? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
But everybody knows what THQ is, so that's why they put it there.
Yep.
It's like calling your company
Atari.
Yeah, exactly. Atari doesn't exist as a company officially.
Yeah, no.
Right? But it exists as a licensed name.
Yeah.
That's why we'll go back to our boy Phil Harrison when they revised when they revised Atari a few years ago, a while ago. That wasn't the original Atari. That was just another company that bought the name and just slapped it on top of their own.
It was Micrograms bought the name.
Yeah. All right, we're done with that. Now we're going to do some fun, people. We're going to do some fun. All right, so you guys here right on Throwdown. So in the Discord, I've linked to my PlayStation stats for this. Just click on it, get your stats up, and we're going to read our stats to the fans. So
man, what you doing?
Yeah, we're going to do some stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try and experiment. Can I share screen my shit? Yes, I can.
You could probably share. You could probably. You going to share your screen?
Do you guys see this? Yes, you do.
Let's see.
All right, you guys got to see Conan over there too. All right, let me F11. You guys don't see that shit. What the fuck? Oh, did I do something?
Yo, man, I saw some shit.
Actually, I don't have anything crazy up there. Oh, am I still? You guys see this, right? I'm like, do you guys see this? Yes or no?
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Yeah, we do.
Like, fuck. All right. So here we go. Okay, so here we go. So my number of, and these are just PlayStation things, obviously. So my number of PlayStation games played in 2020 were 38 games. So my top game is Final Fantasy VII Remake, 75 hours. Ghost of Tsushima, 73 hours. And Monster Hunter World, 49 hours. Yo, we must have went in on that fucking, because we only played it in like January, which is dope. Okay, so top genre was RPG, obviously 198 hours, right? Here's some global stats, but who gives a fuck about that? All right, I'm very proud of my playtime. 666, the number of the beast, Very fucking metal right there, right? So hours played locally, offline, 584. Hours played online, 82 hours. I'm very surprised by that. But then again, Monster Hunter, and I guess that's not too much surprise. Hours played in VR, 0. Not surprising there. So I've played 100 days out of 365 on the PlayStations, and my most played days is Saturday, which makes sense. Saturday and Sunday are my most played days. Tuesday kind of makes sense. That's when new games arrive. So they got some more global bullshit. So I've earned. Here's the thing that kind of irks me a little bit. So these are trophies that I earned on PS4 because they separate the PS5s. So I earned 295 trophies in 2020. And again, here's another little caveat. So I earned four platinums, right? But I actually got 7. But 3 of them are for PlayStation 5, so they don't count them here. So 4 platinums, 9 golds, 60 silvers, 222 bronze. Congrats, Rami Death, whatever. Here we go. My PS5 stats. So my top 5 game, Chris, man, Demon's Souls, baby.
There you go.
62 hours, and my total playtime of the PlayStation 5 had been 165 hours, 224 trophies. And the number of PS Plus downloaded games, 4. I don't really fucking download shit like that. Hey Adam, there you go. My top played game online was the Division 2 on PlayStation Plus. That's interesting. Even though Monster Hunter, I don't know, whatever. Hey, they gave me a free PS4 theme for a PS4 I don't own anymore.
Yeah, that's a waste.
Stupid. All right, so that is my stats. So let's go to Adam next.
All right. I played 51 games this year, so that's a good amount there.
Yeah.
Let me see. For my top 3, the first one, which was surprising when I saw this, The Last of Us Part 2.
What the
53 hours.
Wow.
53. This is from going around trying to collect fucking everything. You know,
platinum?
you go into a building. No, because you have to do the New Game Plus bullshit. When I saw that, I'm like, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not replaying this because remember you have to get all the crafty stuff.
Yeah, you need the New Game Plus to get the material to craft the.
To do all that. I'm not doing it. When I saw that, I rage quit. I was like, forget, I'm done. I finished it and I'm done. Number 2 is The Division. That's 46 hours, Division 2. And number 3 is Yakuza Like a Dragon, 23 hours. There we go. Action Adventure. Those are my top. That's 156. When it comes to that, this enemies collapsed based on fear. That's weird. 834.
That's not your stat.
That's not your stat.
Yeah,
that's global.
That's a global stat.
Oh, that's global?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I see. Okay, global.
Yeah, scroll down.
Okay, all right. Total hours gameplay here is 443.
All right.
There we go. Let me see. Hours for locally is 383. Online is 60. So there we go. That.
Yeah.
Oh man, what is this? Crazy. The 200 hours.
No, skip that shit. That's global shit.
Oh, that's another global one.
Yeah. Whenever you see anything animated like that, it's global.
All right, days played in 2020. That's 138.
Oh shit, got me beat.
There we go. And my highest nights was Sunday nights. Those are the nights I played.
Throwdown, man.
Let's see. Yep. Let me see what else. Is there anything else on here?
Trophies. Go down.
Oh, let's keep going down. I only owned 1 platinum this year, and I know exactly which one. That was Sherlock Holmes.
Oh shit! I didn't even know they made a game of Sherlock Holmes.
They made 2 of them.
Yeah,
they made 2 of them. But
yeah.
Is it like a remaster of the Sega CD one?
No, it's brand new.
Oh shit!
Is it connected to the PlayStation 3 one, or is that even beyond that one?
It's the same. It's the franchise. They continued on. Yeah, it's like the Devil something. I forgot something, but it's good, and it's a series of different cases that you have to solve with Watson and stuff.
Yeah. All right, scroll down to let's see your PS5 shit, man. Scroll down to MLB bullshit.
Yeah, I see the MLB Division 2, 32 hours already.
Division 2 is your top 5 PS5 game?
That's what it says here.
What the fuck? Okay.
Top game played online, and then it says
32. No. Go back up a little bit. Do you see your PS5 up there? It's a little bit.
PS Plus is 6.
No, go back up. Go back up.
No, I pass it, I guess. So.
Yeah, you passed it.
Oh, total PS5 games played hours is 82. All right. Total PS5 trophies 64.
What's your game? What's your top PS5 game? It's right there. It should be right next to hours.
It should be right next to hours. Oh, FIFA 21.
Okay. I guess you played the
FIFA
PS5
21, version. 35 hours. That was it. That was because that's only when I got it. I didn't get the PS4 version. I got it for the PS5.
Gotcha.
And then that was it. 35 hours. And they still banned me, motherfuckers. But you know what? Whatever's. See, look at that. 35 hours.
There you go. Yep. All right, cool. All right. Let's go for Manny. You next. If you want to share your screen, you go ahead.
Share my screen. Hold on for a quick sec. I'm not going to use the other way. I'm just going to use the you know what? Fuck it. It's going to take too long to do.
All right, you just rattle them off then.
No, we'll just do it the other way because I was going to do the Logic Capture share thing, but I didn't have it. So
we're doing it live.
Doing it live. There we go.
There we go. All right, I got you. It's loading up.
So, what we got here is.
There we go. We're good.
Is it working?
Yep, it's working now. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so but it's the that your top games for is Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima. Oh, Death Stranding for 119 hours.
Damn.
Now, granted, that is not the full number. I remember this is only counting the beginning of the year. Now, this is not counting because I played Death Stranding from November when it launched all the way to March.
Yeah, not 2019 when it launched. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not counting the 2019 portion of that game. Ghost of Tsushima is my second at 92 hours, and number 3 is Black Sad Under the Skin.
How?
For 58 hours. Okay, so here's a fun thing to know about Black Sad Under the Skin. The game is glitchy as fuck. Constantly crashes. If you Cyberpunk people, you think you got a problem? That fucking game's got a problem. Granted, the game is well done. The story's really good, but my God, not even long ago, I posted how many consecutive crashes I've had in that game. Also, there's another portion of it that's annoying, where you have to get a certain amount of deductions throughout the game in order to get the platinum trophy to get a specific. It's the hardest trophy in the game because it doesn't act. There's no specific roadmap to it. Nobody seems to know. I think I figured it out, but there are other people who have tried what I did and they've never got the trophy to pop. 2, there's these things that are these hidden collectibles in the game, which is like any other game. You look around and you find them. But the weird part of Black Sad is they're all random. So you can't actually look at a fact to find out where all these hidden cards are in the game because they have a chance of appearing in a bunch of different locations. I got lucky and found all of them. So that's why I played the game a bunch of times. I think the game is only about 8 hours long. So I kind of kept playing and playing and playing and playing until I got everything. It was, it's just stupid. But also, what's not shown on here is I've played 13 games in 2020. Next portion of this is I played a total of 443 hours of game. Not bad for a guy that don't play no games, right?
Motherfucker out here talking that shit.
I mean, I don't
play as many hours as Adam, man.
It seems about the same amount of time. So yeah, and then I spent about 10 hours online. Yeah. I don't exactly know what those 10 hours were. I mean, I hadn't been playing Monster Hunter or anything like that, and I don't know what game was actually going online to do that stuff.
I think it also counts if a game is always online. If you're in it and it has that online feature, but behind the scenes, they probably count that.
I don't know. I mean, like Ghost of Tsushima doesn't have. I mean, I did play Ghost of Tsushima online mode for a little bit.
There you go. That's probably what it is.
That could have been it. Because, that was the only online game to my knowledge that I specifically went out to play. The next part is I played, 84 days in 2020. Just like Tony's, mine is on Saturday. Yours was Sunday, right?
No, mine's a Saturday.
Yeah, so around Saturday seems to be the thing. But you obviously, if you guys see the numbering there, it shows what days I actually. It's kind of interesting. I wasn't playing any games on Friday.
Yeah, it goes down for you guys listening at home. Like your days go down as the week progresses.
Yeah,
like your time playing on a particular day. Like Saturday is the peak, and then it just goes down. Friday, then it peaks again on Saturday.
It's interesting, but yeah, I mean, I guess if we're talking work schedule, yeah, like in the beginning of the week, it's probably not as busy, so I can play a little bit more. Probably Friday is usually when end of the weekend where you're doing updates and trying to scrambling and getting stuff done. So it's probably that stuff. But it's interesting how it's like the Von Trapp family. It just literally is like a stairway. If Saturday was put in front of Sunday, it'd literally just be steps going down.
Yeah, no, you have
Friday.
a perfect step there. It's hilarious.
Okay. What we have is trophies here, and I've earned 294 trophies.
Yeah, same
5 platinum.
Yeah, that's good.
5 platinum, 12 gold, 53 silver, 224. I think those games. I can't remember what games those were though. I know one of them was Bloodborne. I know one of them was Black Sad. So But did I get Black? I think might have got no. You know what? I got Black's Head this year. 2021.
Yeah.
But Bloodborne I did get last year. Just go for the PlayStation. I don't have this on the screen. For the PlayStation numbers, I downloaded 2 games. I'm not exactly sure what those 2 games are. I can't remember. Like it's I'm blanking on those titles, but I wish it sort of did say that. And my top online game was Bloodborne, and the 4 hours that I did play Bloodborne, and that was to get the platinum trophy with Chris. We hooked up for a few 2 hours or 2 hours in 2 days, and just kicked Queen Yarnum's butt, and that's the end.
Good stuff. All right, Carlos.
I'll go quicker, man. This is taking way too long.
Yeah.
You're falling asleep, son?
Yo, man, that's just 30 minutes for 2 people. Number of games played, 18. My top 3 games, Final Fantasy VII Remake, 32 hours. Last of Us Part 2, 22. Shout out to Monster Hunter World, 21 hours.
Yeah.
Total hours of gameplay in 2020, 139. Hours played online, 8, which doesn't make sense because I played Monster Hunter for over 20 hours.
Yeah, some of these things are kind of iffy. Yeah.
Days played in 2020, 57. My most played day, like Adam, it's Sunday, and followed by Saturday. Top 3 PlayStation Now games on fuck that. Total trophies earned 126. I got 4 gold, 18 silver, 104 bronze. My most played game is Miles Morales, a PS5 game. Total of 76 PS5 trophies. What else? 14 games on PSN Plus, and that's it.
Oh shit! So how many hours did you have total again?
139, I believe.
Damn. Yeah, at least it's better than Torrance. He got 8. I'm not even kidding. He's at 8 hours.
Yeah, I mean, most of my gaming was done on Heroes of the Storm, and
yeah, that's that's one thing I wanted to add real quick. Like, my stats are PlayStation stats. That's half my playtime. My other half was on PC. Spent a lot of time there. All right, Brett, what you got, man?
Let me pull it up here.
Yep.
A lot going on this year, so not as much as you guys, definitely. Played 18 games. Top games are Fallout 76 at 152 hours, Elder Scrolls Online 138, and Ghost of Tsushima at 108.
Damn.
All hundreds.
Damn, my man's going in.
Yeah, but that's when I go in. 727 total hours of gameplay. 226 of that is online. Total hours played. That's not me. Days played in 2020, 158. Most prime game day is Thursday.
Playing during Throwdown.
Nope, after Throwdown. I get off this shit in game.
Nice.
At least when I can. I get work done. I just fucking game until 6 in the morning. It's unhealthy. Anyway, total trophies 133. Almost all of them are bronze and silver. PS5 Demon Souls at 107 hours top game. Total gameplay hours is 131 so far, and 35 trophies.
Nice. Damn. So far, you have the most hours played. It's pretty funny for a guy who hates PlayStation, according to the fans.
PlayStation 5?
Yeah, no, total PlayStation. Like, you have, out of all the things we just listed, you're the guy that has the most amount of hours played so far, dude.
Really? I didn't think you guys have less than 727.
Yeah, I have 6. I'm the second guy, 666.
And mine is like
30-something.
Yeah, these guys, Mania and Adam are like 450s ish. Carlos is non-existent.
Fallout, man.
Yeah, Fallout.
Yeah, I ain't no fucking nerd, man. Fuck this shit. Fuck Jim Ryan.
Oh man.
All right, Brian, what you got, man?
I got nothing for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, this is only available to guys in the US.
Oh shit.
And
Deja
reason
vu.
number
I think
2
this happened last time.
Yeah, it did. So whatever. I don't care anymore.
Fuck.
Yo, fuck
these
Jim
are
Ryan.
Yeah, fuck Jim Ryan.
You know,
Yeah.
and he's British too.
Hey, he's British, man. He let you down, man. What the fuck? You know? All right.
And also, you turn off my stats so that I don't send any information through. So it never happened anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, I got nothing, but it'd probably say something. If I'd have to guess, maybe around 100 to 150 hours, give or take, because I did get like 5 platinums last year,
Oh shit.
or 4 platinums, around 4 or 5 platinums
Speed,
ish.
yeah, that one.
So probably that. Online, probably not Among Us. The other one, Fall Guys.
Oh yeah.
Vertically challenged gentlemen.
Yeah. Oh, but by the way, quick shout out to Fergus Mills. He's been running with us on Division 2. He goes, I got 169 hours on Persona 5 Royal, 91 hours Division 2, all probably during work. Don't tell my boss. You outed yourself, man.
So just make sure your boss doesn't listen to the show, man.
Yeah, your boss is actually a fan of Throwdown. I was like, yo, that motherfucker, who got fired.
That motherfucker, Fergus. I know that.
All right, Chris, bring us home, man. What you got? Yeah, watch this.
Okay,
swing.
number of games
Is it loading?
played in
Yeah.
2020.
30.
Oh, can you see it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I see it,
30.
yep.
Let's see
Number
it.
1, Ghost of Tsushima, 143 hours. Second, Saints Row the Third Remastered at 94
shit.
hours. And 3, Death Stranding at 79 hours.
Nice.
So it's a top genre action adventure. Top genre hours 838. Total hours of gameplay 2,589.
Damn.
Chris has more than all of
Yeah.
us combined, bruh. Fuck.
Hours played locally 2,525. Hours played online 64. 0 VR. Days played in 2020 205. So Saturday is my main day.
All right.
It kind of steps down a little bit up on Friday and then
Kind of looks
Saturday.
like mine's, yeah.
Let's see. Total trophies earned 312. So I got 4 plats. We're all top 5 PS game is Demon Souls. 239 hours in there. 240 hours.
Damn, is that the
total.
only game you played on the PS5? Fuck.
It's funny, no, because I've been running GTA 5 when we were playing that.
Yeah, but they
doing
don't
the
count.
heist.
That's a PS4
Oh,
game. You know?
Okay,
That's the
so,
game, yeah, so-
all right. So PS Plus number of games downloaded 29.
Fuck.
Top game playing online Division 2 33 hours.
Hey, that's how many hours I have because we ran together. You know.
Yeah, I've just been playing with you guys. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Chris, the chat is very happy with you right now. They fucking
Like,
they're like, this motherfucker's a real gamer. Chris has more hours than all of us combined, bro.
That's pre-baby. Now Olivia's around, so let's see next year.
No,
Demon Souls.
not
Demon Souls.
Demon Souls,
Chris has
not
more post baby than I have like the past 3 years.
Yo, by the way, I should say again, shout out to Big Bike. This guy has almost like 7,000 hours. Like, bro, there's 8,000 hours. There's 8,000 hours in a year. Like, bro.
Do you sleep, man? Yo.
I just play my games. Oh man, Big Mike. All right, so there you go. By the way, shout out to the fans again. Like, we're literally just reading you fucking stats, and nobody's left the room. You know, they're riveted by this shit. I love it. You know, but that's gonna.
Well, I mean,
what's up?
We are a gaming podcast.
Man, I was sitting there fucking hooked. I'm like, keep it going. This is crazy. You know? I was riveted by that shit. You know.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like I noticed that like Chris and Brett have the like higher on Ghost of Tsushima than I do, and I think Chris, you already got the platinum, right?
Yeah, I got the plat. I went for a new game plus. I was trying to game again, but I already had the platinum when I did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Brett, you sort of just went through the game and just sort of like kind of being like a hero and just sort of chopping up all the people on the roadsides, right?
Yeah, I just loved wandering around the roads and getting into duels, but I am, strangely enough for me, like 2 trophies away from platting the game.
Oh, Brett will get his first plat.
No,
Well,
I'm
he's-
just You know how I'm like, I'll save it for later. So no, I'll be forever 2 trophies out.
Yeah, that's funny. It
I
goes
wonder what it is. It's probably the stupid flag ones, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the interesting thing, because I have 73 hours to go to Tsushima. I think you could take away probably a good 10 hours of that, because I kept playing after I got the platinum, just to just random cleanup, because I was like, hey, I need something to do while I'm listening to a podcast or something, because I fucking ran through that game, and I getting the platinum and everything, Like, yeah, that Ghost of Tsushima, that's my game of the year, 2020 game of the year. But it's funny that the former game of the year is my number one game, Final Fantasy VII Remake. I still remember playing that much Monster Hunter, and by the way, I still want to go back to it because I haven't finished Iceborne. The next thing I got to beat is Valhazak. I'm like, I don't want to do that shit. Fucking Valhazak, man.
Have you guys ever even beat that the behemoth from Final Fantasy?
No.
We still got to get a revenge on that motherfucker.
Shit.
We still got to get a
It was
revenge.
impossible.
All right.
You talking about Monster Hunter or Final Fantasy?
Monster Hunter. Remember Behemoth? That motherfucker. He beat us, man, because he throws everything at you.
He casts meteor.
Yeah, he casts everything. He throws fucking tornadoes at you, lightning, fucking meteors, like everything. All right, a couple of things. I did promise you guys Phoenix Rising, but we'll do that on the Sunday show because I wasn't fully prepared. I got to figure out something kind of clever for that giveaway, but we'll do that on the Sunday show. And hopefully, if things go right, people, I'm gonna have a new lighting setup and everything, and you're gonna see visuals and shit. It's gonna be crazy. Basically, I'm getting a new camera. Actually, I have a new camera, but I'm getting like a new desk and shit. I'm gonna have dual monitors. It's gonna be fucking dope. So stay tuned for that.
We need to get you the Streamlab button shit too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, actually do that. What was I gonna say? So it's gonna look good. It's gonna look good. Always improving on the Throwdown. By the way, yes, the camera will be a Sony camera. People, you already know, man.
You're such a pony.
Yeah. By the way, the guys who are finally looking at this setup for the first time, they're like, "Yo, man, that's PlayStation Blue." You know what I should do, Manny? On this side, I should have like PlayStation Blue. On this side, the Xbox Green. Just to show I'm fucking.
Yeah, but but your hand ain't Xbox.
I just put on. I could put on a neutral fucking like black hat, Actually, let's test this out. Let's see how this shit'll actually look real quick. I don't know which one of these is going to turn green, by the way, but we'll see. God damn it!
May not turn. Remember, green doesn't look right.
Okay, there we go. Maybe I should do that. What you think? Green look better here or there?
I think the other way around.
You think the other way around?
Yeah, because I think your CDs and your DVDs look better under blue than green.
Okay, let's try.
Yeah, they look better like that.
Okay, so let's try that. Hold on. Yeah, the green looks off on this shit. Yeah, going back to this.
Too warm. Too warm. Doesn't complement your skin color.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. All right, you get PlayStation Blue, and you're gonna like it, you motherfuckers. All right, man, we're done here. Oh, actually, no, plugs. Manny, you have to plug anything.
Well, yeah, usual stuff. We're going to be Excellence is going to be doing a Kickstarter pretty soon to do our Super Ultimate Edition for our book. So that's coming out really soon. I can't probably the 19th. Stay tuned on Skybound's Twitter and mine. And coming this weekend, you can get a picture of a print by myself, signed by Cam Clark, none other than Liquid Snake, from the American version of Metal Gear Solid. So let me go back to that thing again because I totally forgot what the link was. Vamping a little bit. Internet wish was faster.
Yo, man, what's up with that Pennsylvania internet, man? Fuck that shit.
Yeah. So you're going to be going to Streamly. streamily.com/Cam Clark or Metal Gear Solid, and they're going to be having doing a live signing with all the voice actors and talking about all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it was a long time coming, and it's really, this is also the only place online that you can get my print of Liquid Snake saying, "I want you for the Genome Army." So yeah, so that stay tuned for that stuff.
Nice. Adam, you got anything, brother?
Soon, later this month.
Oh, shit.
Walking Dead comes back, so another episode of I Am Negan. So we're looking forward to that. So there you go. So that's, and then a few game reviews, but that's some more games coming in. I'll talk about that when they get closer to it.
All right. I think that's going to do it for us people. So make sure to follow us on Twitch and Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, and join the Discord. Discord is always fucking popping, man. Especially this week. This week was crazy, You can find us on any podcast app by searching for Throwdown Show. You can visit throwdownshow.com to listen to past episodes. And if you're watching us on YouTube and you liked what you saw, make sure you hit and like and subscribe and all that good stuff and the little bell and all that shit. So, yeah. Again, I'll only tell you that at the end of the show, not at the beginning. Remember, I hate that shit at the beginning. Say, guys, how you doing? Hit like. Motherfucker, I don't know you, So, yeah, there you go. Throwdownshow.com, past episodes, all that, and links to everything down below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you later, guys.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Good weekend, people.
Brett Murdoch.
It's been real.
And Brian Manjoma.
Later on, guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you on Sunday. Later.
Deuces.